Hey guys, this is Courtney from Willows Bloom at willowsbloom.com, where we intentionally design our life and business with the cosmos. Today I'm going to share with you guys 3 mindset shifts that I have gone through, that I currently experience, that have really up-leveled the way I think about my business and has allowed me to have a lot more success. The very first one is to have a CEO mindset. And I actually got this from Vanessa Lau from one of her videos. She's a YouTuber who talks a bunch about Instagram and running a business. And she mentioned in one of her videos that she shouldn't be focusing on something because that's not what a CEO would focus on. And that one comment just blew my mind. And because I guess I never really thought about it that way. When you first start a business, you're this strappy young thing trying to nickel and dime and really save all of your money and think in a sparing way, how can I get followers with spending the least, or how can I do this without getting help and doing it all on my own, or using the free version of things. And I definitely think that there's a time and a place for that. But on the other hand, you can't expect your business to grow if you stay in that kind of mindset. And so what I did was I started to approach my business thinking from a CEO perspective, and actually using this when I'm going to schedule a task. And that's because I don't want to spend time on things in my business that are not going to move the needle forward. And I see so many people doing this. They're so busy, and yet they're not actually producing results. They're producing so much content, so many things, but it's not actually helping them grow their business. They're not actually working on the product or the thing that they're going to sell. They're not scheduling or carving out time for the thing that actually makes your business a business, the thing that actually makes you money. And I'm not saying that that's all you need to focus on. Of course not. A CEO would not do that. What I'm saying is to not get caught in the weeds of your business, looking at all the little details. And I have definitely done this, and that's why I know that this was such a mindset shift for me. And especially because I had 2 businesses before this that didn't run as smoothly from the get-go as this one has. And that's because my whole mindset has been different with this one. From the very beginning, I hired a video editor because I knew that it took me over 3 hours to edit one video. And I thought, okay, I can pay someone, $300 a month to help me edit videos. And I might make another video later about how to find someone and hire them and everything like that. So I thought, okay, I can pay someone $300 a month or however much to edit videos, or I could spend those, 6, 7, 12 hours editing a couple of videos a month. And then I thought, what could I be doing in that amount of time, and how much money could that make me in comparison to how much it would cost me to hire someone to help me to do it? And Celestia, I just want to give you a shout out. I love you so much. She is a video editor here, and she's amazing. And so all the amazing work and animations you see, those are all Celestia, and she's just so incredible. And I am so, so grateful to have her on my team. I think about how grateful I am to have her every day. And so anyway, so I feel like that's the kind of CEO mindset you want to have, is how can I find help and support in order to really spend my time on the tasks that are within my zone of genius. Another CEO mindset shift is to really focus on building a community and really focusing on the value that you provide people. So I just think every question or everything that you approach in your business and you schedule on your calendar, you need to think about it or question it from the point of a CEO and ask yourself, does this matter? Does this make a difference? And don't just think about it as a direct difference. Like, obviously this YouTube video doesn't make a direct difference in my income because it's actually costing me money. However, it makes an indirect difference because it helps provide value to you guys, and then you guys can find my website and find that I do business astrology and I do business astrology courses and all this kind of fun stuff. And if you're interested and you vibe with me, then you'll work with me. But the only way that you know that you're interested and that you vibe with me is because I make content for you guys to actually see. So anyway, focusing on things that provide value and that bring people to you either directly or indirectly. That is what a CEO does. The second one is to not argue for your limitations. And this one was also mind-blowing for me. I remember reading a quote by Marie Forleo who said, "When you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them." So do you really want to argue for your limitations? Of course not. That is just dumb. That is just dumb. And the thing is, if you think about the future from your current state of mind, then logically you think, okay, what's possible for me is what I already see around me. Maybe a little bit improvement, because logically you can grow and expand within a small range, and that feels comfortable for your brain. When in reality, anything is possible tomorrow. You could die tomorrow. You could win the lottery tomorrow. Somebody could find you. You could go viral. You could make $100,000 tomorrow. And what I'm trying to say here is that the future you can have anything. There are no limitations. But our current mindset is what dictates how we view our future. And oftentimes when we are wearing the glasses of our current mindset, then we don't actually allow ourselves to tap into the abundance and the bountiful opportunities that could be out there for us in the future, because we think we can only achieve so much, and that's relative to what we have now. So what I want to do is actually tell a story to kind of illustrate like the whole idea of limitations and the power of our will. And this is actually about my college roommate. She was a pretty good friend at the time, and she was dating some guy, and he didn't come see her over the summer. Like, he was a few hours away in Florida and she was in Tallahassee, and he just had so many reasons he couldn't come see her. He was working, he was busy, and we were talking about it, and I thought, that's a little bit weird, but I mean, that makes sense. He has all those reasons. And then she talked to her dad about it, and her dad said, if he wants to come see you, he will come see you. Point blank. Doesn't matter what the excuses are, doesn't matter what the reasons are, doesn't matter what the limitations are, he will make it happen because he knows that he wants it and that he can have it. And that's what I'm trying to illustrate here, is that when you know that you want something in the future and you know that you can have it, it doesn't matter what limitations are there. So what you can either do is go after what you want wholeheartedly and then just keep failing and try again until you get it. Or what you can do is stay comfortable and say, oh, I can't get that because of XYZ limitations. Well, of course you can't, because you've already determined that you're not going to get it by saying that you can't. So you've failed before you've even tried. And so why I'm trying to illustrate this is because I feel like there are so many people who don't allow themselves to dream big or set impossible goals or go after the future that they really, really want and the business that they really, really want, because they feel like it's not possible for them because of X, Y, and Z. And I want to say that that is not true. And I'm just going to tell you another story to illustrate this, which I thought was really interesting because it happened to me. Personally, I got yoga certified, and I did that up in Asheville Yoga Center. Shout out, they're the best. And that was a while ago. And I got certified and I was doing the poses, that everyone was doing and having a good time. And at the very end, when we received our certification, we had one-on-one chats with the instructor. And something that she said to me just was so interesting. She was like, I am so amazed that you were able to do this because of your back. And the thing is, my back is pretty much all fused, like all the vertebrae are attached to these two metal rods because I had scoliosis. So I have almost my entire back, because I had two curves. So almost my entire back has two metal rods supported with all these screws. And so logically, I shouldn't have that much range of motion, and I really shouldn't be able to do that much. I mean, I'm not sure what everyone else can do, but it makes sense why someone else would think that I wouldn't be able to do that kind of stuff. But the thing is, my parents never made me feel like I couldn't do any kind of physical activity. No one ever said to me that I had any limitations. I knew I had the surgery, so I had back pain and would have to adjust and do things differently than other people. But I never thought of that as a limitation. So I never thought, oh, I can't do that. And so when I got certified and I did everything that everyone else was doing, it really shocked my teacher. And when she told me that, it shocked me, because I didn't realize that I did have a limitation and that it didn't matter. And so what I'm trying to say is, whether you recognize your limitations or not, you can move through them. And I think that that's so important to know. Just believe in yourself and believe in your goal and your vision, and you can do it. So don't argue for your limitations, because you'll get to keep them. And then the third and the very last thing is to ask better questions. This also just blew my mind, because I thought I had something come up where I really wanted to do it, and it was actually this copywriting course, and I didn't have the money in my bank account to do the course. And so I thought, oh, I can't do this. But then, because I knew this aspect to ask better questions, I thought instead, or after I said I can't afford this, I thought, how can I afford this? And so this tactic is really to recognize when you have this definitive constraint that you're putting on yourself. You're putting yourself in a box somehow, like, I can't afford this, I can't do this, this won't work. Instead of saying those kinds of things, or after saying them, because you're probably going to say them, it's going to come up. The next step is to recognize that you just said something that is giving you a constraint, and then ask yourself to make that into a question instead. And the reason for this is because our subconscious mind will take that at face value. So it will take your statement at face value. If you say you can't afford it, your subconscious mind will be like, yes, you can't afford it. But if you actually transform that into a question and say, how can I transform that? Even though your conscious mind does not have the answers, what it does is it sends your subconscious mind on a mission to go working for you. And it's going to find every little opportunity and fact and idea that might pop up that might help you actually make that happen. And that's because you asked it a question. So just be open to really changing the way that you look at things. Instead of it being a limitation that you can't do, ask yourself, how can I do it? And you might not have the answers at first. So it's super important to know you don't need to always know how, but just pose it in a way that's a question so that there's an opportunity to grow into it instead of just being a definitive no. So I really hope that this was helpful for you guys, and I have a question for you because you guys can help me as well. What mindset shifts have really helped you? Please comment down below. I want this to be a sharing community. I want everyone to learn from each other, and I think that will be so helpful. And if you guys liked this video, then I think that you will also like my video about the science behind manifesting, which I'm going to link it up in the cards and down below. That one's super great because it also touches on the aspects of the subconscious mind, which I've been learning about in a course about EFT, NLP, all that kind of stuff. So that's really great. I'll be coming up with more content kind of related to that. So stay tuned by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below about your mindset shifts. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.